Blessed good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you to this beautiful evening, or so to say. My name is Philbert Aganyo. I'll be the moderator for today's discussion. Allow me to welcome our attendees who are joining us, and then we will go straight to also welcome the panelists for today. We are having the aspirants who are vying for the position of, let me see, the first position that we are having here is the participants. This position is participants. Okay, I'm trying to get the correct
this
name.
Is Partnership and Resource Mobilization Committee.
Yes. P and R. You know, I saw the abbreviation. I was wondering. Partnerships and Resource Mobilization for the yearly alumni chapter. And we want to thank you so much for creating time to join this. We have 16 attendees. You will bear with us that we will not have time for all of us to introduce ourselves. But I believe if you're here, you must have been at least a cohort member in the yearly alumni, the RLC Leadership Center at the Kenyatta University, and we want to welcome you for that. I will start by giving a few house rules to all the panelists. When you're talking, please try as much as possible to switch on your camera so that we are able to see you. And then also, if you're not talking, we'll request, of course, you know, these are the ground rules. If you're not talking, or if you've not been asked to respond to a particular question, have your microphone on mute at all times so that we can allow a very orderly discourse even as we move along. And so without taking any much time, I will move straight into the introduction phase before we go to the questions. Now, the first, this is the order in which we are going to use as we introduce ourselves. You will tell us your name and the cohort that you were part of, and then also tell us a bit about your suitability for this position. Of course, we are going to go into the details. This is not a time for us to go into the various details. Tell us about the role that you are, of course, we know by virtue that you know the position that you're applying for, but we just want you to again elucidate on what position is it that you're going for and what makes you a suitable candidate for this. We will go into the various details. So name, cohort, and the position you're going for vis-a-vis your suitability for that. I will move in the order in which you appear on my screen. I will start with Brian. It follows an alphabetical order. Brian Ashiali, then we'll go to Caroline Munge, then we'll come to Christopher Subano, David Onyango, Harun Modena, and then last but not least, Maurice Munga. In that order, please just unmute yourself and then proceed. Brian.
Hello, I'm told that I cannot unmute, not really unmute, but show my video because you had blocked, the host has blocked it.
Charles, could you confirm that?
Let me confirm in a moment. Apologies.
Apologies for that. But even as we go along, maybe I know you may be wondering who, in which cohort Philbert was. Philbert is also a yearly alumnus from the cohort 5. I was part of the cohort 5, and I want to once again take this opportunity to welcome you all to this debate. We are hoping to take the shortest time possible to have this discourse. One other ground rule that I forgot to mention, let us be straight to the point. If you're asked a question that is very direct, just go straight ahead into giving us the details and try as much as possible to be as precise as possible. So I believe that's all. Charles, do we have the video functionality?
I believe we can start as I try and sort out the video settings.
It's okay. Thank you so much. I think participants or aspirants, you are free to go ahead. If you're not able to put your video on, that's okay. It's being sorted, so we can meanwhile proceed. Bran, we are on to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity and for organizing this forum for us to share ideas and views with a prospective electorate. My name, as said earlier, is Brian Muganda Ashali. I was fortunate and lucky enough to be part of cohort 42. As much as regards to my suitability to this position, I believe I have wide experience ranging from public sector, private sector, and finally the NGO world. So I believe I bring a great wealth of diverse. Not probably the most important aspect. The most important aspect of this is that I am easily approachable and a very, very social human being who's able to relate to just about anyone across board. Thank you so much.
Hello, Yali. My name is Caroline Munge, alumnus Yali cohort 8. I'm suitable for this role because I have 5 years experience in partnership and resource mobilization, having worked in charitable organizations, NGO, and the private sector. I've also served in Yali before, serving as the county lead for Kiambu County. Thank you.
Hello, fellow leaders. Yeah, my name's Christopher Subano. I'm interested in this position for partnership and resource mobilization because I have a strong background in resource mobilization, having worked at the Kenya Red Cross. As you all know, the organization has to seek the resources for itself. So as the incoming resource mobilizer, I have the skills that will ensure that the alumni body has the resources to perform its activities. Thank you.
Christopher, did you tell us which cohort you are part of?
I was in cohort 40.
Cohort 40. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. This is Harun Madena Muyesi, the county chairperson from Kilifi County, cohort 30. I'm suitable for vying for this position because of my experience of working with the local communities and empowering them in how to utilize the local resources. Because of my capability of working with the regional and international organization, I've been focusing on collaboration between different actors, different partners within the nonprofit sector. I believe this kind of experience will help the alum to mobilize resources and
hello, leaders. My name is a member of cohort 42 for this position because of community service director, Club of Westland. I've been tasked with leading a team that community needs and mobilizing to meet according to the needs that we have. Thank you.
That is all we had for today.
This is Mario. So, Maurice, so practitioner. I'm into movements and mostly working on to develop our communities and also advocate for of because potential support. Thank you so much.
Much ask which cohort you are in. So to the panelists, I think try and switch back on when you're talking, that is. You don't have to or to respond to any question, feel free to do that. But nonetheless, if you want to time, better. We will move straight into the first round of questions. I'll ask just one question and you will have only about a minute each to respond to this. A minute might be a bit insignificant. Maybe let's go to 1 to 2 minutes. Do not go beyond that, straight to the point, and then we will be able to have this discourse. And then of course, at the end, we will allow some of our attendees to also shoot questions to any aspirant. I believe we have the Q&A functionality that has been enabled. So if you want to send a question, this is to our attendees, 18 in number, and yeah, the number keeps rising. Feel free to do the same. We will also allow Mudhoni. Mudhoni, I can see you in. Mudhoni is the outgoing chairperson of Partnerships and Resource Mobilization. So Mudhoni, I do not want to ambush you. I will reserve 1 or 2 questions for you to ask to these ladies and gentlemen as we move along. So thank you so much. The first question to the attendees, in the same order in which you spoke, about 2 minutes each to respond to this. What 3 qualities do you think are needed for your position, and do you possess these? I'll ask again. What 3 qualities do you think are needed in order to serve in this position? And the second part of that question is, do you see yourself possessing these qualities? In that same order, Bran. Turn your video on, please.
Yes, I hope you're all able to see me.
Precisely. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I'll go with commitment, dedication, and a person who's willing and able to listen to wide, divergent views, because this position is about the people and what they want, and not necessarily what Brian wants. So one, commitment. Are you ready to put in the hours? Are you ready to put in the work for the people? Secondly, are you dedicated? Is it something that you believe in? Is it something that you really want? Or what are your motivations for this? Then thirdly, as I said, we'll be listening to the people and being open-minded. The situations, they might be situations where you might need to change course or change track, and you would need a person who is open-minded. And I believe all these qualities are found in me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bran. Precise, and you used about 1 minute 40 seconds, which was very much within time. Next, please, Caroline.
Okay, for me, one of the qualities that's needed is crisis management. I think when you're dealing with, we'll be dealing with many people from different chapters and partners, and so on. So as a leader, you need to be able to manage in case of any crisis that comes with working with people. The other one is availability, which is very key. The fact that it's a voluntary slot. The other one is creativity, because we have to keep evolving and looking for new ways of doing things. And I believe I possess all of these qualities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caro. Christopher, I believe you're next. You're on mute, Christopher. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
On the 3 key points, I think one is being resourcefulness. This and I possess this by being able to be creative and look for methods of raising resources like crowdfunding, writing of proposal, because I've noticed yearly over the past years, since the cohorts went online, there have been challenges based on logistical challenges like bundles. Like I was in cohort 40 and we had a lot of complaints about the internet bundles because the users, the students, the leadership students, the bundles we used was more than the cost which was given. So as a resource mobilization officer, I'll be tasked with the duty of ensuring that there is sufficient resources, and I can do this by partnership because Yale is a great brand. We can partner like with Safaricom. They can provide, we can negotiate for subsidize the internet bundles, and that will help the organization cut down the costs. For example, if the stakeholders are cutting off. The second and the third is transparency and accountability. I'll be tasked with ensuring that the resources for the alumni is on a platform where all alumni know the resources that have been received and their location. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher. A bit over time, but I was about to text you. But nonetheless, thank you so much for your response. David, you should be next. Arun, it's David, then we come to you according to that alphabetical order. Thank you so much. David, please.
Okay, I believe that this position requires the networking skills. You need negotiation and collaboration, because most of the time you'll be presenting these ideas, networking ideas to the partners, and you need to present it in a way that they can see how you're benefiting and they're also benefiting at the same time. So that is where negotiation comes in. Collaboration is just working on the modalities on how to sustain the project going forward, and networking is basically needed so that you can reach out to the right partners and yes. So I believe I possess these qualities because, as I said earlier, my experience as a community service director at Rotary Club of Westlands, I've been involved in so many of negotiation and networking with the potential partners, because it's a give and take. That I'm best qualified to fill this position. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Harun.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Harun Madena from Kilifi County. So my point, I'll make them very simple in a layman language. One, dedication. Get him or herself to vie for this position. From my experience being a county leader for Kilifi County, I've been doing this kind of volunteerism for more than 4 years. And another thing, it's about creativity. Creativity in this way. How might we empower our fellow alum to utilize the local resources without depending more on a donor funding? Because before a donor funds you, he or she must see what you've been doing. So one thing I'll be doing, it's more about empowering the fellow county leaders in how they can utilize the local resources by partnering with some with some learning institution within their own county. Next thing, it's passionate. It's all about how you connect all this with your personal life. To me, I've been doing a lot, and I've been doing a lot of my things in my marginalized county through these kind of efforts, which made me to get a kind of support at a regional and global level. That's why now I'm coming here, try to influence my fellow alums so that we can work together, because this was crucial for the sustainability of all other positions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harun. Thank you so much, Harun. Next, we think we have Maurice. Maurice for the last person, but not least, of course. Thank you so much. Please go ahead. Go ahead, Maurice.
Okay. So thank you. So 3 qualities that are needed for me for the I have some comment called here. So 3 qualities, yeah: adaptability, diplomacy, practicability. So I see myself be able to have the ability to adjust to new conditions. Like recently we have COVID, so we can see to it that the person, when I get elected, that is, I'll be able to adapt to the new conditions and be able to come up with concepts that can be realistic to support the chapter. And also for diplomacy, we need to, there are some times that we have to deal with people in a sensitive manner and in a good way to approach them, and also be tactful so that we can be able to, because that position is all about resource mobilization and also negotiating most of the time. And then practicability. So this position also requires somebody who is able to see what is realistic and something that is achievable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David, for that response. We move to the next set of questions, and I want to do what we call a split question, meaning I'll request only 3 to respond to this, then the other 3 will respond to the next, to the other part of this question. So the first that I will start with is Brian, Caroline, and David. And then the remaining 2 will respond to the other part of that question. So Caroline, David, and Brian, in the order in which you talked previously. Why do you think, as a chapter, as a chapter, the Kenya chapter, why do you think we need this, and what do we use these resources for? I believe that is a direct question. Why do you think as a chapter we need resources? And of course, you can define resources the way you wish to, and then of course qualify to us what do you think these resources are needed for. I'm just trying to get your understanding of this position. Please, in that order, Brian, Caroline, and David. If I'm not clear, feel free to ask me to clarify that. Please go ahead.
Yes, probably you can clarify so that I get more time to organize my thoughts.
Thank you. I'm asking this, and any of the participants, if any of the aspirants, if you think you're ready with an answer, feel free to utilize the raising hand functionality. I should be able to. This one is not going to be that rigid. I'm asking, why do you think we need resources as a chapter? And what are these resources? What are these resources used for?
Yes, thank you so much for the question. One, I believe the resources we will need will not just be money, but also ideas and trainings for the people to be able to actively take part in the transformational agenda of Africa. I mean, we aim not only to solve problems, but also provide opportunities to our fellow youths and the continent at large. So I believe that the resources provided to us will really come in handy towards actualizing this dream of transforming Africa, of making Africa and Kenya to be more specific, more self-reliant and to provide sustainable solutions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. Caroline?
Yeah, for me, I think resources is anything that gives you utility, as in it could be ranging from skills to things like money to maybe what we call connections and networks. All those are resources. And those resources is because some of them will help us in our economic development at a personal level. At that age of Yali, they are young adults, and they need money to really thrive and move on. Some also will be useful for their development in terms of things like being mentored, which will help them grow in terms of their intellect and such aspects, growing their assets in terms of even how they are able to behave themselves or carry themselves even in their workplaces and such things. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe Caroline, if you could try sitting facing the window. I can see there's a window behind you. Just sit on yourself facing the window so that there's that natural light on your face. We are not able to see clearly your face. Maybe in your next response, you don't have to do that now. David, please, it's your turn. Go ahead.
I think that really brings together alumni with that are highly talented, they are skilled, and they are resourceful with ideas that can transform their communities. But these ideas cannot come into actualization if they don't have enabling. So I think why we need resources is to bring these ideas to a platform where they can bring meaningful impact. So the resources that the alumni need are networking opportunities. They need forums that they can display their skills and their inventions and ideas. They need monetary support. They need trainings. They need events. So those are the resources that the chapter can support. The chapter and partners can support the alumni, and that is what, when I'm elected, I intend to leverage to make sure that the dreams and ideas that alumni have, they can be able to bring them into actualization and bring impact to the community.
Thank you so much, David, Caroline, and Brian, for those responses. I'll switch to the next set. No, Christopher, I know you dropped off, but the question that you're going to respond to is a different one. Let me just ask the next question that will be responded to by Harun, Maurice, and Christopher. So Christopher, you will begin. Now, the next question is, we find ourselves at a very precarious moment. You guys are all aware that we have COVID-19 with us, and a lot of how we were doing things has changed. I just want to hear from you, what strategies are you going to use to mobilize for resources, be they monetary or skills, as your counterparts have responded? What new skills are you going to use that transcend this COVID situation that we find ourselves in? we'd like to hear that. Christopher, maybe you'll begin, then we will have Harun and Maurice complete. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The skill that I'll bring along is crowdfunding. I'll use the digital platforms to raise the resources needed for us to, I'll use digital platforms to raise resources needed by the alumni to carry on their activities. There are some digital platforms that our organization uses for crowdfunding. I'll introduce them and let the alumni use them.
Thank you so much, Christopher, for those responses. We'll move to Harun. I think your connectivity is a bit slow, but nonetheless, Harun, please.
Okay, thank you for this question. I appreciate. So for my side, I will focus on three things: building bridges, enhanced collaboration, and strategic partnership. Building bridges, how? Building bridges, I believe there's some other alum networks which are doing amazing work. In Yali Alum, we appreciate because we already have young people with skills, with energy. But we have platforms which have resources, but they lack participants with this kind of skills. So I'm a member of the Both Alum Network, a very biggest foundation in Europe. What I'm planning is to build bridges between these different networks, come together so that we can work on a single goal. 2, enhance collaboration. How? My first target is the county chapters. I'm targeting county chapter leaders and equip them with the fundraising skills. 1, 2, share with them my case study in how I've been managed to fundraise at my local community through the learning institution. This is one of the skills I will equip county leaders so that they can work with their fellow Yali at the county sustainability purpose. Then finally, strategic partnership through multi-sectoral collaboration. For this, because of what we will be doing, it will build that positive rapport, and we will adopt the virtual sector doing activity online. By doing activity online, that means budget will highly reduce. By budget highly reduce, it will attract potential supporters to come in and support what we have been doing. So from the building bridges to collaboration to partnership, it's what Yale need at the moment. And these are some of the things I've learned from the previous team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harun, for the comprehensive response. Next is Maurice, please.
Okay. Thank you so much, Philbert, for this opportunity. So I'll go straight to the point. COVID has taught us so many ways we can creatively engage ourselves in the online platform. And one of the most evident that I personally saw it is the online campaigns. People have been able to fundraise using campaigns. They use hashtags, and they are able to come up also with a paybill number and also raise some money and have the resources they require. Second, I believe that we have support systems, even though we are somehow limited to social distancing and other stuff, but also we must also focus on strengthening the support systems. And what I mean about the support system, I mean, we have organizations which are running grants and opportunities for people to apply, and they can be able to be funded and come up with concepts that can be able to be funded and be able to raise resources. And lastly, we have now the crowdfunding. We have the crowdfunding platforms. We have Mchangas and what have you. We can also use them to raise resources and also follow up on matters to do with resource mobilization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was just to try and check if you are alive to the fact that we are in a different, operational environment where we might not be able to physically do things the way we used to do. And, you really have to be able to persuade or maybe, establish contacts and connections with some of these organizations that you have highlighted. All of you have highlighted that you want to share. So a general question to all participants, to all the panelists. We will start from down now coming up. So Maurice, you will have a minute to respond to this. Then Harun, then Christopher, Caroline, David, and Brian. We start from now, the bottom coming back up as you appear on my screen here. Now, you're aware that one of our, the outgoing office was very, very hot on county chapters. In fact, if there's a time that we saw the burst and the growth of county chapters, then it was in this era that is coming to an end. I'd like to know, maybe share with us, and maybe even if I ask this, let me just remind all attendees, if you have any questions, please feel free to the same. Nelson Asira, I'm seeing your hand, but unfortunately I might not allow you to speak now. We will allow you to speak at the other, when we are done with the first set of questions. But if there is any other question that somebody would want to share, please feel free to send it using the Q&A feature that we have. Send your questions, we'll be able to profile them, and these will also be responded to. We only have 2 questions remaining for the general, and then we will open up this discussion. So I was asking about the county chapters. One of the significant ways that we have achieved a lot was because of the county chapters that we know. Can each of you tell us how you intend to work with these county chapters with regard to, the way the county chapters operate, be it in the registration of CBOs by alumni? There are diverse means that we can work and benefit from working with county chapters. Can each of you tell us how you intend to work with the county chapters? We begin with Maurice. 1 minute each. Maurice, you're on mute.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. So I recently joined Nakuru chapter, and I was so much encouraged by them coming up with a CBO. They're doing fine, and yeah. So one of the things is that I would start by supporting the chapters through making sure that at least we roll out a fund kit, a yearly mashinani fund kit, whereby they can be able to access funds and accelerate their projects. And second, I will work closely with them so that we can be able to roll out capacity building trainings on mentorship and resource mobilization, so that they can get acquainted to proposal writing, who are the potential donors and partners in certain areas, so that they can get both financial resources and also non-financial resources. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Harun.
Hello. So for my side, I focus more in 3 things to the county leaders. One is its provision of resources, tools, resources, platform. One, I have developed my curriculum, and I'll provide them with trainings in how they can utilize local resources within their county level. 2, after giving them such kind of skills, we'll be working together to partner with some learning institution within their local communities to rule the AGPO framework. 3, the final thing, we'll provide them with platforms, 1 for experience sharing, 2 for learning exchange, and finally for collaboration, because I believe inter-county learning exchange is crucial for every alum leader, so that they can learn from one another of what they are doing and find ways in how they can collaborate across the county level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harun. Next is Christopher.
Okay, since COVID-19 has brought a lot of challenges on physical meeting, on the county chapter, I'll encourage them. We can have virtual meetings, and whereby I can be sharing links where they can reskill themselves on vital skills on crowdfunding and proposal and project writing. Yeah, that is what I'll currently be doing because resources are really minimal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Sorry, we skipped David. If we were to follow the alphabetical order, it would have been David coming in next. David, please. Then we'll come to Carol, then Brian.
Okay, how I will work with the county chapters. I will apply a lot of collaboration. First, I will assemble a team. Immediately I'm elected, the resources and partnership committee will comprise members from the county chapters, especially those who are directly involved in their chapters, so that together we can come up with a national resource mobilization and partnership strategic plan that we will work with for the next 2 years. Then I will also want them to replicate the same in their local chapters when they go back to seek for partnerships and resources to do their local projects. And I will also personally be there to support them when they need recommendations, when they need representation from the national leadership. I will also be there to give strength to their proposals. So that is how I work with them, collaboration.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. Caroline, please.
I would focus on working with the different partnership officers in the counties, and my main point would be on promotion of alumni enterprises. This could include products or the skills they are developing in the community. Some people do bead work and such things. Also, there are some people who are online. They have their YouTube channels and they are selling their things or their products on Facebook and so on. So I would like to encourage the counties to map such people, and by the help of the other alumni, we can be able to help them promote their products, and by that they're able to earn some money, and from that we can even come up with a kitty for yearly, whereby if we are to help a certain person sell or put their product out there, we can be able to get a certain percentage they can give to the kitty. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Last but not least, Brian, please.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. To answer the question, I'll first of all work. Initially, I would roll out a research to find out what some of the problems these county chapters might be facing, because for us to help them, we must first of all understand what is ailing them. Apart from that, from the small research that I'd conducted prior to drafting my manifesto, we realized that some of these chapters are not actually registered. And therefore, it becomes a challenge for them when they are seeking resources, when they are seeking partnerships. So my first goal, once I'm elected, when I'm elected, it would be to fast track the registration of these county chapters to enable them get into legal binding partnerships. Next, we would work on opening bank accounts for these chapters. Since they'll be getting into partnerships, they need to have the right documents for partnerships, and the bank accounts will really, really come in handy for them for crowd raising funds, one, and also apart from raising funds from partners, also raising funds on their own to support their own initiatives, such as when a member is bereaved, they can always contribute or have a kitty that supports such. The next bit would have been to organize trainings and networking forums for them, because these people, I believe these county chapters have very, very important and well-talented people. I believe if we organize well-tailored events and training sessions, this will greatly benefit them to continue the good work that they're doing. Finally, I'd focus on information sharing sessions and knowledge sharing sessions for these counties. We realize that, as I said earlier in the group, a problem in Kisumu might have a solution in here, Kabete, for example. So once we organize information sharing platforms for our county chapters, we will be able to help them move a step forward in their goals and visions. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those comprehensive answers. I didn't want to cut any of you short while you were speaking, but know that one significant quality which is being tested also is timekeeping. So if you're told 1 minute and you go beyond, anyway, I'm just pulling your legs. But I believe this is a very open forum that we can talk, though of course in very well-moderated discourses. Timekeeping, if you watch the US debate, presidential debate, timekeeping is quite essential. And of course, we want to leave about 30 minutes so that we have that interactive session with the next. So I'm going to my last question, and I'm going to request you guys to take at least 1 minute. Okay, at most 1 minute 30 seconds to respond to this. This is the last question, and then I will welcome Mudhoni. Mudhoni, please be ready. I will welcome you to answer, to ask at least one question that these guys can respond to. And I can see also, feel free to utilize the chat section. There are questions that can go in through the question and answer feature. And panelists, I believe you have access to that feature. If there's a question that is directed to you, please feel free to respond to that. We will be able to highlight some of those responses that are directed to you. So attendees, we have 15 of you, and more, of course, are still joining. Please feel free to utilize that Q&A section. If you feel there's a question that has not been responded to the way you wanted, feel free to bring it up and take these leaders to account. Ask a particular leader a particular question using the chat functionality. So this last question revolves around your experience in resource mobilization and establishing partnerships. And I'm not going to ask you to tell us a lot. Just give us one scenario where you were either building a partnership or mobilizing resources. This is at an experience level. As Caroline, as David, as Christopher, as Brian, as Harun, and as Maurice, there is that particular moment, or do you have a moment in time when you were either building a partnership or mobilizing resources? What one challenge did you face, and how did you overcome that challenge? I will start with Brian. Brian, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you so much for this. I was organizing my thoughts, but I think I still take it. My experience with partnerships with as a graduate of finance, one of the natural routes that I took was compliance, which in other words would be auditing. In the NGO sector, before you partner with people, you have to conduct due diligence on them. And so I have experience with this working for an INGO. So before you actually get into a partnership with a different company, with a different organization, you normally have to do due diligence on them. And this gives you adequate information on the organization and is able to tell you if your views and visions align with each other. Apart from that, I've also worked with a different organization, NGO again, where we used to place volunteers in schools. And before you do that, you needed to go and talk to the school management and convince them on the need for them to allow you to support them while our volunteers actually benefit from the same experience. One of the challenges that we experienced with this was information, accuracy of the information. You might go to the field, you might conduct due diligence, but at times you don't get the full information on the partners. You don't get all the details using these tools. So that was the main challenge, because you might be focusing on a person who wants to construct a road, for example, and they don't tell you, for example, that they get kickbacks for constructing these roads. So you do not entirely have all the information about your partner, and this is sometimes disadvantageous. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian. You took exactly 3 minutes. I gave you 1 minute and 30 seconds, but that is pardonable because I'm the one who allowed that. I might not be as generous. Next person, please be precise to the point. One experience scenario that you had, the challenge that you faced, and how did you overcome that challenge? Next, please, Caroline.
Okay, for me, when implementing a HIV prevention program, one of the things the donor CDC required us to do is to have sessions with the beneficiaries every week and teach them a skill or two, or talk to them, mentorship. So we realized we should work with a religious institution, that is churches, where we could have the beneficiaries. They go to church and we talk to them from there. But with time, we realized low uptake, and Saturdays, most of them were at home doing their chores and stuff like those. So, and also we realized that the partners, some of the churches could not live up to the commitment because they wanted to wash their churches and stuff like that on Saturday. So we had to cut and look for other partners to help us to bridge the gap. And that is why we started going to the schools. So we partnered with the schools. They would give us lunch break where we'd go and talk to the beneficiaries and mentor them. And that really gave us a high uptake because all the students used to be in school. So that worked for us.
Thank you so much. 2 minutes. David, sorry, not David, Christopher first.
Yeah, okay, thank you. During the last project we did was COVID-19 sensitization by the Kenya Red Cross, and and it was funded by the European Union. The challenge that we had was the donated water tanks in the water points, like in the marketplaces and near supermarkets, near the bus station. We had a challenge because when we partnered with the county, they couldn't deliver the water services, yet they had the resources, and we had already agreed they would deliver. This really made us feel like we'd failed. So we had to partner with the private sector, although they are monetary, they put the monetary finance, the monetary resource first. They were able to deliver, but they were not really consistent. Yeah, that was one of the greatest challenges I had in resource and mobilization.
Thank you so much, Christopher. I didn't get whether you were able to overcome that challenge and how you overcame that. Nonetheless, I believe we will.
Yeah, we were able.
No, not now. Maybe you can be able. We will give you another opportunity to maybe highlight that during your closing remarks. We will have about a minute each to give those remarks. So very fast, David.
Hello.
Okay,
one of the challenges I've faced as a community service director was when in 2019 we partnered with a Rotary Club to supply a tank to a school in Kipyembit, Kericho County. So when we went back to hand over the tank to the school and the school board, we met an angry community who came to demand why we did not include them in the project. So it was It was a very heated debate. The chief had to calm them down, and we did not hand over that day. We had to plan to come back 2 weeks later, during which we had to engage in a negotiation on how they can also benefit from the tank. So from that challenge, I learned that before you do a project, you need first to engage the local population to know what are their needs and what are their views of the project before you can begin, especially if you are doing it in a close-knit community where people are highly dependent on each other.
Thank you so much, David. Next is Harun.
Hello, everyone. For my side, what I can share is building an organization from scratch, community-based organization in Kilifi County. After we managed to register the CBO at the grassroots level in Kamberibe Ward, we managed to enter in a partnership with Ribe Girls High School through ALPO framework. In this ALPO framework, our main aim was to train young people in how to produce liquid soap. Then we supplied those products to that institution, and those profits, we were using them for non-profit work. For the last 4 years, we managed to raise around 600,000, and it has been our source of funding for all these 4 years. One of the main challenges I faced during that time is after we were given the work, I didn't have capital because it was the first time. But what I managed to mobilize community business people who came in, support us, by giving us loan, and using that loan, we managed to train young people. We managed to supply this product. They compensate us, and using that money, we have been doing all activity you're seeing in my social media handles for the last 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, Maurice, please.
Okay. So thank you so much, feedback. I've been able to be a resource mobilizer for mobilizing both people and resources. And I would speak on my own experience with a campaign that it is being running. It's called the For Nature campaign. It has a manifestos and open letters, just basically for campaigning advocacy in environmental sector. Yeah, recently we had a training for our planet training, and I was one of the key people who made it a reality to see that the campaign was narrowed it down to now the country levels. So we can be able now to localize what we are talking about in advocating for nature. And there were challenges because right now, in my own opinion and in my own context, because I've been in the environmental sector, getting a funding in the environmental sector, it's not easy. And especially in terms of advocating for something. So you have to have good data. And also the issues about COVID, many non-profit organization are actually having the money. So mostly they opt for non-financial resources, that is knowledge. You'll be able to disseminate information to other people. So it was a success. It was recently held on 12th March and 13 and 14. Yeah, and we were able to deliver our results. That is my own personal experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all the aspirants, for those very good remarks and weighty comments that you've made. We want to acknowledge some of the comments that are coming in. Simon Odiambo is saying that he likes the way all the aspirants have demonstrated a lot of maturity in handling and even how you articulate your issues. So that is a big plus to all of you. We want you to feel encouraged by that. Modoni, please, if you're able to talk, I want to allow you, you're the only person I'll allow to talk, to ask your question. You've already posted it, but I'd want you to, okay, Modoni is not here. Modoni has dropped off. But nonetheless, Modoni's question has been echoed by, oh, Modoni is here. Modoni, please, are you able to talk, please unmute your microphone, or I'll ask. She can't talk. Why? Charles, are we able to allow Mudoni to talk? I'm trying to see how to do that. Okay. Looks like if you join as an attendee, you're not able to speak. But nonetheless, I believe good reasons for that. There's a place I was able to click here to allow you to talk. I don't know why it has disappeared. Nonetheless, allow me to echo Mudoni's question. Mudoni's question has been echoed by Rahab. Rahab also asked the same question, that if you lose, I don't like using that term, but allow me to just use it nonetheless. If you do not succeed in winning, are you able to allow your to share your skills or to share your ideas with the person who emerges as the winner? In Mudoni's words, where is that question? Your question imeenda wapi? Oh, ndio hii. If you don't win, will you join the committee and help the elected chairperson? That is a direct question. It does not need a lot of explanations. Each of you to respond to that, beginning with Maurice. Maurice, you're the last person to respond. Maurice, then Harun, then Christopher, David, Caroline, Brian. Please.
That is a, thank you so much, Wilbur. Yes, I will support anyone who wins. I'm free. I'm okay.
Hello. For my side, yes, because previously I've been doing it. I've been training my fellow Yali members in how to fundraise local resources, and at the same time I've been managed to partner with a Kenya chapter in some of the regional activities. So yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Next.
Okay, from my side, if I lose, I'm willing to share my skills to whoever wins, and all the other yearly alumni who are just willing, they can DM me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Christopher said you feel free to DM him. That is proactivity. Thank you so much. Caroline.
Yeah, for me, I'll be willing to support. I feel everybody in Yali is a leader, so whoever wins should be supported by the others. So yeah.
Thank you. David.
Okay, I'll take this opportunity to tell my fellow contestants that putting yourself out there, aspiring to lead, that is already a win in itself. It will not matter the outcome, all of us are winners. So let us work together with the person who has won to bring these creative ideas together and move our chapter forward. So yes, I will work with the winner.
Thank you. Last but not least, Brian.
I would take any opportunity to serve our people with both arms. So whichever the capacity, if it's serving the people, I'm in, all in. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I believe that answers that question unanimously. All of you have accepted that should you not emerge as a winner, you should be able to share your ideas and maybe join the committee, because actually we are only electing the chairperson. The chairperson will convene a committee. And so I believe all of you will definitely be able to do that. Now we are going to the questions that have been posted in our chat section. And the first question to all the aspirants here is, where's that question? There's a question that was here to all aspirants by Elizabeth Nduku. Elizabeth is asking, how do you plan to ensure lasting partnerships with like-minded individuals, organizations, and government ministries, be it maybe at the national level or at the local county government? We also have ministries there. This is a question to all of you. I'll welcome you all to respond in a minute. We will start with Brian. Brian, please. Elizabeth's question is on the chat section, so if it's not clear the way I've asked it, feel free to check the way it's been posted in the chat. But I believe we should take the shortest time possible to respond to this. Please, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for the question. One of the ways we will do this is by conducting due diligence on our partners. We just don't partner with anyone. We partner with people who have shared interests and visions. And I believe that will help us towards identifying or having sustainable, long-lasting relationships. Thank you.
Thank you. Caroline?
From my side, I believe for us to have something that is lasting, it said everybody wants something. So I think when we come into partnerships where we benefit and the other party benefits, it becomes a win-win situation. I think that partnership, most likely it will last. So that is what I would go for. Thank you.
Christopher?
Okay, on my part, to ensure that there is sustainability, we will adopt the partnerships that the previous alumni leaders have been using, and also as we are in the office, we leave transparent methods that whoever comes in the office will still maintain the strategic relationships with the partnerships we formed.
David?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher. David?
I believe a great partnership pursues win-win engagement. So to engage with our partners, first, I will lead my team to understand what activities do partners engage with and which activities do they support and how do they align with our goals. I think that would be very important for us because that way we'll be giving the partners what are they getting out of working with us and what are we getting out of working with us. So we need to understand what they do and their goals and how they align with our needs.
Thank you so much, David. Harun?
Hello. So for my side, something which I will emphasize more is to formalize the country chapter. By formalizing the country chapter through the registration process, next through with the strategic objectives, they'll be the one which will guide us in multi-sectoral collaboration. Because the main challenge and a lesson I've learned from the previous team, it's how to formalize the country chapter, and that will be my main goal at a national level. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maurice, please close for us that discussion.
Thank you so much. So my opinion and suggestion is to ensure that we are able to map the current, future, and past partnership that we had, so that we can be able to propel more ahead to ensure the sustainability of the chapter. That is all from my side.
Thank you so much. There's a question specifically to Harun Mwadena. Harun, I'm giving you exactly 30 seconds to respond to this. How can we link Yali alumni chapter to the regional international bodies? As you've stated, you have such a network. That's a follow-up question to one of your responses where you said you have that network. So I'm giving you an opportunity, 30 seconds to respond to that. Then we can have one last question to all the participants. Then we round it. We're supposed to finish in the next 10 or so minutes. We'll give you a minute each of the panelists to wrap up. Harun, 30 seconds, please respond to that.
Thank you so much for this question. To answer it direct, I'm the Secretary General for IGAD, while at the same time I'm a member of the Bost Alum Network. Something I'm planning to do is to promote cross-border collaboration between these different networks once we have built bridges with them. So my main aim here is to do a cross-border collaboration between these different networks by bringing alum from the national level and link them at a global level so that they can learn from others in what they're doing and share experiences. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The last question is posted by Evans Onyango. Allow me to take all the attendees and participants. Allow us to take this as the last question. Then we can give our panelists a minute each to wrap up. Of course, they will wrap up with a question that we will field. So Evans Onyango is asking to all candidates, could you please indicate the projects for which you will need to mobilize resources for the alumni. The second part of that question is, have you guys made an effort? Mudhoni is here, will confirm if any of you has talked to her. Has any of you reached out to the outgoing chair of partnerships and resource mobilization to maybe establish how, rather what challenges they faced, and maybe generally just to work on around the transition? You know, it's all about taking initiative. Maybe you can respond to that. We will. So the questions take a minute each, then we see how to bring this to a close. Go ahead.
Of course, yes, I want to say, yes, Mudhoni has been a very, very resourceful person to me. I have engaged her way before even I came up with my manifesto. That is why I came up with a good piece for the people. Secondly, I wouldn't want to say that there are specific projects for which I'll mobilize funds now, because we have not yet mapped out the needs of the counties. So I would need to do a need analysis, a research on the needs of the county, so that we identify the projects for which we'll be raising funds for. Thank you so much.
Next, please.
Yeah, so from my side, I think resources, for me, we need resources as need arises, and you see resources are always scarce, so you can never escape that opportunity to mobilize resources. You can even keep them as a reservoir. One of the things people have talked about is the kitty, which would come in very handy in case any alumni has a problem or needs some help. So those are some of the things I would like to get resources for. As long for about engaging the outgoing partnership chairperson, I think, yeah, I've engaged her, and yeah, we talked. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Christopher?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, from my part, I think the place where we need to mobilize funds for the projects, I'll map out and check each individuals who are really alumni, where their registered organizations are working on various projects, and link them to websites and organizations where they can apply for their funding and resources. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very short and precise. David?
Thank you very much. I think the resources that the alumni will need training, forums, networking events, and financial support for various projects. So that is what we focus on. I would not say there's a specific project I have identified, but I know all projects will need basically all those 5 components. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Very precise. Harun?
Hello, thank you so much. For my side, what I can say, last year, August, I managed to work with the current team, led by Charles. We host East Africa Youth Consultative Forum, whereby we provide platform to our fellow Yali alum so that they can collaborate, share experience, and learn from each other with other alum across East Africa. So this is one of the key principles I will really promote during my leadership: sharing experience, learning from each other, and collaborate for systematic impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, Maurice, please.
So currently, I've not yet identified any project we can work on, because different times have different moments. And second, I have not yet met Mudhoni, so I will be lying when I say that I've met her or talked to her, but I'm hoping to her soon, that we can be able to, is when if I'm going to be elected also.
Thank you so much. I think honesty is one of the hallmarks of a true leader. So thank you so much. I believe all of you have exhibited that. Morgan, I would have overlooked you because your question is coming in late, but nonetheless, we have only 4 minutes left. So find a way of, to all the panelists, find a way of incorporating Morgan's question as you give us your parting shot. I want to give you a minute each, all our panelists, before I hand off back the program to Charles. 1 minute each so that you can tell us your closing remarks. And in your closing remarks, focus on, hey, David, sasa wewe pia umetuma question nyingine. David, we might not take your question because it's coming in at 5:27, but nonetheless, because it's in the live chat, any of the aspirants feel free to check the Q&A section and respond to any of the questions there. But I wanted to echo Morgan's question and another question that I had as you give us your parting shot. The question is, what are some of the shortcomings? Criticism, positive or negative, is part of you being a leader. You don't necessarily have to criticize someone, but when you see a shortcoming, you can, of course, you're allowed to critique. So treat this as a moment of critique. What are some of the shortcomings from the current office holder that you have identified or that you'd want to improve on? If there were any shortcomings or challenges or areas that you feel the current office did not do a good job with regard to the partnerships and resource mobilization. Now, put that as the back of your mind, and in your parting shot, as you respond to that as well, tell us why you think you are the best candidate for this position. I will give you 1 minute each as you respond. Then we can begin with Brian. Brian, please begin.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. One of the things I got to learn from the outgoing chair is that most of the chapters were not registered. So I seek to facilitate the registration of the chapter to enable them to effectively partner with other organizations. My main strength is I am willing to listen to the people and follow the ideas that they bring on board and help them bring the ideas to the light, because I believe in a quote that says, I must follow the people. Am I not their leaders? This is about them and not me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brian. Very precise, though you've overshot my time. Caroline, please.
Okay, for me, I think one of the things is reaching out to the leaders, especially in the county chapters, so that they feel the effect of the leadership up there, especially in the different doctrines like partnerships. That would be very, very important to improve on. And the reason why I would like my fellow alumni to vote me in is because I will be available, I'll listen to them, and I'll be there to help them in all their endeavors as far as partnerships and resource mobilization is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christopher.
Okay, the challenge I noticed about the outgoing alumni leaders is that they are slow in communication. Sometimes you can write an email, it takes long to respond or it's ignored. But on the other parts, they did really a good job. Yeah, the reason why I want this position for partnership and resource mobilization is because as the other leaders can see my manifesto that I've shared on the WhatsApp platforms, I think they should go through it and decide. Yeah, and whoever wins, I'll support him. I'll support him. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. David.
Thank you once again. What I have observed from the other leaders is they were working as a great team, because I've not, for the few times that I've joined the various alumni platforms, network platforms, I've not had any complaints or anything about the leadership. So I believe they're working well, and maybe I will improve on that through my networking and negotiation skills. to ensure that the alumni with ideas and projects that can bring impact to the communities are supported using the locally available partnerships and even seeking new partnership. So I ask my colleagues to vote me in as the next chairperson, so that we can work together as a dynamic team that will take the chapter to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Harun.
Hello, thank you, Philbert. From my side, one of the main challenge I learned from the previous team is the formalization of the national chapter and the development of some effective system to attract some of the main supporters. So from my side, I'll be focusing more in the formalization of the national chapter, because that's the main crucial part of it. And once I've managed this, we will be enhancing experience sharing, learning exchange, and inter-county collaboration, because we have a lot to learn from our fellow leaders, which we can incorporate at the national level. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harun. Last but not least, Maurice, please have a go.
Thank you, Gilbert. So I'm new to this docket, 100% new, so I won't comment about any shortcoming. But to add on that, I will give my personal observation and my suggestion. We need a yearly machinery fund kit. This is to support the alumni in their work. And then as party shot for my campaign, yeah, I will urge the alumni to vote for me, and also we can work together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Though you've not told us why they should vote for you. The question was, why do you think
why?
they should vote for you?
I thought it was just okay. Why they should vote for me? Yeah, I think we also need new ideas. We also need new people sometimes, but that is not a qualification, but a considerate. So that is why I'm here, that position.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maurice. And I want to thank you in a very special way. I want to thank you, Brian Ashiali, Caroline Munge, Christopher Subano, David Onyango, Harun Mwadena Muyesi, and Maurice Munga. Thank you so very much. It has been a very honored deliberation that we have had. And I believe that the alumni who are on this, and even those on this call, and even those who will be taking part in the voting process, will make very honorable considerations as they consider this. Allow me to take back the program to Charles to finish for us as we all rest our cases. Otherwise, from my end, Philbert Aganyo, cohort 5, it's been a pleasure being your moderator for today. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, Philbert, for very ably moderating today's session. Thank you also to all the contestants for accepting to participate and for very well elucidating your manifestos and responding to the questions that were put to you. I think as we close, I'd like to make just one request, which is that we all turn our videos on so that we can take a screenshot of the debate. Then after that, we will call it a day. Thank you so much once again. The event recording will be uploaded on our YouTube page, and it will also be available on our Facebook platform. So for those who, you can actually share it with people to come and listen to your contributions during the debate. So that should be available for them. And I really appreciate all of you for coming. I think I'd also recommend that you still stay in touch with Muthoni, get to know how the docket has been, what has worked, what has not. That way, whichever of you gets elected, you are not going to start from zero, but you can learn from what has already happened and what can be improved going forward. So once again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your Easter, and see you next week, if I can put it that way, after the voting. Thank you so much.